Beatic, a prototype by Haley, Marquise, and Chan. So this is our brand kit. These are essentially just the color schemes that we used within our prototype. We had a lot of lighter colors going into darker colors, into more vibrant colors for our prototype. So this is also more of our buttons. For the buttons for like the music playing and like settings and songs and stuff like that, we used an orange color because it popped out against the background. But for navigation between the different pages, like to get to a playlist or to move around in Discovery, we used a green background for the buttons because it also popped out against the background as well. And we used white text for that. But for all the text, we used the font Montserrat, and we also have our logo in the top left as well. So this leads us to our next section, which is our hi-fi updates. For our hi-fi updates, we added the actual logo in for the sync button that we had, and that sync button is kind of like our logo as well. So we also added a header in with the name of our product in above the sync button, and we kind of have a page dedicated to the sync button that when you're listening, it will discover a song and lead you to that song. Most of the updates to our hi-fi prototype was just adding in like little text like the discover feature. So we have discover, new music, new friends. We didn't have that in the original mid-fi prototype. We added that text in later on. And we also added in some song titles as well and a person's playlist, so you can kind of get a feel for, hey, this is a real person, or this is another user we can actually interact with. So leading from the Discover page into based on your listening, we have added song titles as well. And we just cleaned up the UI a little bit to make it a little easier to navigate. And we have Elliot's playlist over here on the right side as well. So this is just how our application looks in a smartwatch. We have the sync button as the main feature here, so you see it directly in the center of the screen, and then it goes to the listening page, and then that leads to a song as well. We didn't have the logo for the sync button, so that was really key in adding that into the prototype. So this is also how it looks as well. So we just added a little text. It wasn't much. We didn't really have to change much from our prototype. Later on, I'm going to go through the different screens that we did add to our prototype, but most of the stuff didn't change. It just added little song titles, actual song titles, or an actual profile name. So this is how it looks to discover as well. So like I said before, we didn't really change much from the mid-fi prototype. We just added in the song titles and added in an actual person's name, just little details to make it feel like this is a real application. So these are the actual additions to the applications that we did add. So we added in a create an account screen and a sign in screen. These three screens are kind of what you need in an application to really sign in, and it's instrumental in an application that requires a profile that saves your data. So we added these three screens in and went them from there from our mid-fi prototype. Based off of our user testing, we discovered that a feature that users wanted was to be able to hide their songs or hide themselves from the map to kind of have that own little privacy. So we added in privacy settings under profile. So we added in the screens to hide your songs or to show you on the map to hide that as well. This is just how the sign-in looks in the smartwatch application. We tried making it so that you can create an account within the Apple Watch or the smartwatch, but we found that it took up too much space and it was just really messy. So we decided to have that feature only in the phone application. So when you try to create an account in the smartwatch, it tells you to visit the phone application to create an account. So this was a little easier for the smartwatch. This is the same privacy settings that we had before in our mobile application. We just shrunk it down and turned that into the same little settings for our privacy settings for the smartwatch. The end. We hope you enjoyed the overview of our prototype Beatic and some of the changes that we made going from mid-fi to hi-fi prototype.